Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 2, day 3. It is Wednesday, middle of the week, January 11, 2017. As always, please seek financial advising when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. Support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. Well, we are smack dab in winter here in the wonderful city of Portland, Oregon. We had on record one of the largest snowstorms here hit last night. It is closed down the city. They don't know how to deal with a snowstorm here. Anyway, let's get into some more exciting. No, really, the market wasn't that exciting today, so that's why I showed you that picture. Session highlights, all waiting on the pre-POTUS Trump. And what happens? Well, we'll show you that here on the charts here. Crude recovers from that wonderful chart we showed you there yesterday. So the crude back upside, and that volatile VIX as usual. Overall, Globex market was in a chop, and we finished uptrend as the day finished out after the drop and the pop. And let's go ahead and take a look where the pre-market trend look was for the ES, as we do every day before the 15 minutes before the market opens. Looking at some upper levels again. It's not an matter of exiting. It's not a matter of a setup. It's just a matter of price action is in momentum in that direction. There might be probability for cause for some kind of stall at that point. 50.39 was surely a line in the sand for the NQ, and then if we had any rally, we would have possibly got up to 50.78. There's our big pick, 4-hour chart, 60 minutes. You can see we're both in an uptrend. We'll take a look at those charts here momentarily. Range charts again stuck up at the highs. ES, we were looking for 22.81 if we were going to rally upside, and then 22.19 to the downside. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the charts and see how we did overall. Daily gaps, you can see just the big picture. Volume, lots of volume today on words. That's it. Earnings season coming up into next week, so we'll see if market's going to react differently. But for now, we're in a sideways trend here on the YM as 20K looms up above. ES, same picture. NQ just continues this rally as we break above the 5K here. Trying to catch up with the NDX there. But CL here, crude getting that recovery back after closing out that gap yesterday from 12.19 here on that hole. And then next gap upside will be 53.32. So watch out for that as the week progresses. On the AD lines, price action as we see NISS, a lot of morning chop. Really didn't get going anywhere until Trump started speaking. So holding at the pivot. YM again, not much action here today. It was the NASDAQ in the afternoon that got a little bit of a rise here up to level 25. But there was your AM session, very frustrating, wasn't going anywhere. And our S&P here as well on a 5-minute chart really didn't move much either. Let's take a look at the big pick as we do each day. Let's start with the NQ as price action here on the daily and the 4-hour chart, 6-hour, 60-minute chart. We could see both in an uptrend, 50 above 144s as we hold above. That's right. So what we do is we look at the left-hand chart and see where price action is on a bigger picture. We have 50.78 above us as the NQ about to close out here for the session today, but holding above resistance. So if we don't see any near-term levels, and what I'm talking about is if in between the overbought here, the resistance, 78 and 39, then what we do is we will go over to the next chart. And the next chart being, over here. We look down to 50.39. Is there a match over there? Yep, 50.78. So 4-hour chart looks the same. So pretty much no difference on the two charts aside. So we go down to the 60-minute chart. And we see the downside, not only do we have 50.39, which is a resistance level as it is in the 4-hour chart, but we have an intermediary level, 50.58. So tomorrow we'll obviously have to watch the Globex session. Do we come anywhere close to 50.58? If we are right there, then we will assess price action to the downside, would most likely come down to 50.39. And then what we'll do is we'll look intraday. We can always look at a 15-minute chart. I was going to go ahead and pull the 15-minute, but there's a nice 15-minute chart that we could see on a bigger picture for today as price action found support down here through the mid-range and then pop back up here to the high resistance. Now, this is on a minute chart, and I'll show you here how I use it on the range charts. But again, if the 60-minute chart isn't helping you with the bigger picture, go down to a 15 or a 10-minute chart and you'll get some levels that you might use for just an overall sense of, or I should say, levels of concern. Not necessarily strategy, just levels to watch. And then we'll take a look at the chart pictures today, see where the momentum setups were in the day. All right, let's take a look at the YM, daily YM. Here we go. Price action again, holding between 20K and 688. So that pulls us into the smaller time frame. Where are we at? 19,883. So 20K way above. So we have these smaller levels in between. You can see price action on the 51.44 holding downside. 60-minute turned it around slightly today. We'll see if we hold that into tomorrow, but we are in just a lot of congestion, consolidation here, as we did find support down here both yesterday and today on the major support resistance as we head back up here to the highs of the MML charts. And then we'll take a look here in a moment at what we're going to seek for tomorrow. Daily ES, again, big picture here, holding inside the resistance, as I said before. Price action, again, whether it's to the downside, 2250 or 2281, which we've been watching each day. Well, we got some levels in between, so we go to the 4-hour chart. We'll notice that 2269 is a number that we would find in between the high of 81.25 and 2250. So, price action again came down. We would have looked for the top probably here, 2253 today. Didn't get down there, and so price action lifted up and all the way up to resistance 2269, a number that we've been watching daily here on the ES. 2269 lining up here with the major pivot. So for tomorrow, if we head up north, we'd be looking for the number that we see on both charts here, 2273, which would be the resistance, as well right here, 2273 on the 4-hour chart. So that's what we've been looking for tomorrow. Again, that all depends on the overnight session. Only 2 points away. Obviously, I'm going to look for something a little bit bigger than that. So numbers above that will be on the smaller time frames. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at today's pictures. Then we'll talk about where we're headed for tomorrow. Crude again with that nice move to the upside today. Solid hike in Ashi bars, holding above the T350 here. VWAP. 2 bars down below the 534 and the 5144. So this cloud here represented by the horizontal bottom. Again, several trends upside. If you were stopped out as price action pulled back down, you had an opportunity to re-enter on the crude. Again, you probably was stopped out on the break even there. But if you're holding on for the bigger picture and holding above the cloud, as you can see, the cloud still holding up. Price action never broke that cloud. Again, any entry lower today would have helped you to stay in the trend to the upside. So CL, nice move, nice rally back to the upside. Taking a look at the gold today, price action of gold, just like the indices that we'll see here in a moment, price action on the Trump, I'm sorry, that was pre-Trump news conference, gold and yen and euro all headed downside. So very nice move. We have the cloud here in the red, again, matching up with the third row down below in the blue. And so we have all matching colors downside and price action heading down, hike in Ashi bars downside. So there's your first trend of the day. Price action breaks above the cloud again. There's your next move. Pop below the 5144, and then the remainder of the session, gold pushing back to the upside. So overall, very channeled. There's your overnight Globex session. So gold didn't go very far. Take a look at the 6J yen. Again, we had that similar picture to the downside, but afternoon session really popped up here on the yen as it broke to the highs and then obviously pulled back downside again. This portion most likely to be left out until it broke down underneath the cloud. Now, on sessions like this, let's go ahead and show it to you on the 6E. When you get a lot of movement, and there's nothing wrong with going to a higher time frame. So if a 10-7 is not working for you, you can always go to the 15-tick chart. You eliminate a lot of the noise there. The overnight session here on the euro to the up. I'm sorry, this isn't even the afternoon session. Here's the overnight session. Overnight session was clearly to the downside on the euro, and price action again got another little bit of chop session mid-morning, and then here it was. Price action lifts. Trump conference, news conference, and euro finished up towards the highs. All right, let's go into the three major indices. As we saw, NASDAQ, again, similar picture, price action. Here's the U.S. regular trading hours. It was this price action here that was not a lot of fun here, as we saw a lot of chop sticking between the Globex high and the midnight open. A couple of opportunities set up. Look, 5 above 34. At some point, you just say, look, I'm going to wait for the breakout above 50.39. Again, we saw that line. If we go back to the long-term pick charts, we go down to the NQ. I'm sorry, wrong charts. We'll come back to that in a moment. Actually, we could just look at it here. It was 50.39. That was the level of resistance that we were watching. So price action really not able to break that 50.39 in the AM session until here. So you might have gotten a little bit of a lift, but short-term live there. And then price action broke all the way down. That was the key move to recover any losses there in the AM session. Breaking back to the upside. So Trump news conference out here. And then you got yourself an afternoon trend, and then back upside above not only the Globex low, but above the midnight open. And there you go for the final session trend. YM, very similar picture. Again, there was that overnight Globex. A little bit more smooth on the YM than that AM chop, as we saw two trends, both upside, downside, and then finally the break below the T350, and finally finishing out in the afternoon session to the upside. And finally, our S&P 500 with a lot of great volume today. Again, major move here. A little pop above the T350 price action. A little bit of chop on the way down. Probably a couple re-entries if you played it to the downside. And then ES back upside to finish in an uptrend. All right, so where we head in tomorrow as we wrap this up, let's take a look at the NQ on the, again, we have the daily chart here. 50.39 is where we were looking. So we'll look again to the highs, 50.78, see where that matches up. Again, we go back to the, not only the daily, the 4 on the 6, and see if any of those lines, but 50.78 up here matches up. Obviously, this is our daily chart that we see, but we'll take a look here, 50.78. So we go back to the 60-minute chart, and 50.58 will be, again, all based on the Globex session. And then we'll watch the intraday session as we do each day. Here's an example of the NQ where the MML lines will reset themselves. But again, it's all about price action underneath the cloud or above the cloud, the 5144, which is an overlay from a 1-minute chart. So any price action to the downside and back to the upside. So if 50.58 is where we're, 50.78 is where we're headed on the bigger time frame, we'll watch the smaller time frame. Smaller time frames, be ready in both directions. So if NQ comes down tomorrow on the slide, so we'll look to the down numbers. But if for any reason it pops back upside, we'll have a new MML line that might be front running 50.58. We'll look to that target, as we could see here, 50.39, which was on our daily chart. But we'll look to the next level as these reset tomorrow. So that's how we use the intraday pick. So again, tomorrow, looking ahead, we're looking to 50.78 upside. If we break the 50.78, the lines will be reset. Looking downside, as we did today, 50.19 first level, and then we'll be looking to 5K downside, and anything lower, we'll start looking towards the major support resistance down here at 49.21. Taking a look at the daily ES. ES, as we run up to 2281.25, both on both charts, not only 75 tick chart, so there's our upside level, 2250 to the downside at this point, and nothing really in between unless we look on the intraday charts and seeing if there's any intermediary levels as we did here on the ES. Let's go back quickly as we saw 2281 across the board. But again, now we go to the 4-hour chart, we go to the 60-minute chart, we got some levels in between, such as 2273 as we just saw. So we might watch for that, or 2277 before we actually get to that 2281. Again, nothing should stop you from exiting at those if the HA bars are in trend, just like you see here on the NQ. All right, and finally on the YM, let's take a look at the YM chart. Course chart setup daily. Again, reminder, we're headed up to 2313 eventually, but for now, let's just settle on 20K as we seem to be having some problems hitting that bell. Downside, we're looking at 19,688, and if we break that, look down on the daily to 50 MA. Do we have any levels that line up here? Well, there it is, 20K on both lines. A couple levels of resistance in between here that you can see we're sitting at 19,882. So A couple of levels of resistance, in particular 9,883, which is holding in between this resistance and stall level at this point. So again, intraday, watch for the trend as we do here on the NQ. Watch for the solid Heikin-Ashi bars. And again, we can just pull up a YM chart once again. We could see that being ready in both directions is key on an intraday, but looking for moves like this, which is in trend with the bigger picture, are more powerful moves. And we had one, actually this was a move here too, and we had 3 moves to the upside. So almost an inside day for the YM in itself. All right, guys. That concludes an insight into the daily trend. Taking a look at tomorrow's calendar, we're looking at jobless claims. We're looking at multiple Fed speakers, and to finish out the day, Janet Yellen. J.P. Morgan starts to the week off, or end the week off on some earnings as we run into next week. Starbucks and Netflix and Google and all those coming up in the next month. And so we'll look forward to those to see if they sway the market in any way. Make sure you check out the pre-market trend every day to see where the Globex session led us. Got to be ready in both directions, guys. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets if you want to obtain more information. My trading mantra, one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. Find me every day on Twitter at tradingfibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only watch what's in front of me on my charts. And as always, leave your crystal ball and your bias at the door when trading. Hey guys, for those of you that are interested in joining us, our community of like-minded traders with the highest probability setups on any given day, feel free to email me at david@tradingfibs.com. You may join us on Thursdays or Fridays to view the live charts as they happen in the trading day. Hey guys, have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. I'm going to shovel my way out. Good day, good night, and good trading to you.